So with this, after their heavy defeat with Yukie and Misa, if you don't know who they are, watch episode 9. They are Thing. Of course, Yukie is Adrian's sister and Thing, and Misa is Akane's sister. These guys are just laying because they can't move. The first one to wake up is Sarah, and she limps off for help, going as she finally makes it to a hospital or the latest phone thing and calls saying that they need help. Their friends have been unconscious from a giant battle. They're instantly taken to the hospital and healed. Sarah's already healed up because she used her power to heal her herself. Then Sarah walks in saying, "Doc, how are they?" He says, the boy with the black flat hair has the worst condition. The boy in the yellow and black hair, people, who is Alex, he says, he should be fine in the next 10 seconds. He wakes up going, damn it, that was a terrifying loss. As he gets up saying that he's perfectly fine now, thanks Doc. Then he says the girl in the pink hair, the pinkish purple hair, which is Remy, wakes up next. He says she's perfectly fine as well. He says, now, the girl in the black hair, who is Akane Ryuki, he says she suffered some mental trauma, some bone fractures, a couple of bone breaks, and that's basically all. He says, now the boy with the yellow eyes, who is Troy. He says, this boy is in not good condition. He overused his swordsman ability, which he exhausted himself. He got a couple of broken bones, but that's not too bad. Then Remy says, now Adrian? He goes, he's in a bad condition. He says, would you mind explaining what happened to him? Because he has many bone cracks, and all the pieces of the bones went scattered all around his bloodstream, which is terrible. If one of those sharp pieces of the bone cuts one of his bloodstreams, he could die. We need to perform something to stop this stuff. As they call out the doctor from Tokyo High, he slashes him. As he slashes, Adrian, kind of like with a healing blast, which heals him, all of his wounds come back to normality, but he will be unconscious from exhaustion. As they all finally wake up, they need to get that Infinity Blade sword back, because that one because they really need it. Then Sarah says, oh yeah, all of our swords were even stolen from them. We lost. We need to find them and defeat them, but we're gonna need training. Adrian says, he can't talk, because, you know, he has reasons. As they get up, it's finally time for them to go eat, because they need to plan out a strategy while they're eating. They go to a nice five-star ramen shop. As they start to eat up ramen, As Akane says, so guys, what's the plan for beating them? Well, actually, Akane would be pretty silent. Remy would say, so guys, what's our plan for defeating her? Adrian says, I'm not too sure. But what's wrong with Akane? As I look at her, and she's shaking as she's slowly eating. And actually, she's not even eating, actually. Troy says, Akane, are you okay? He goes, oh, okay, yeah, I'm okay. As when she looks at them, her pupils are so small. Adrian says, Akane, are you alright? You don't look alright. He goes, Sarah says, quiet down, Adrian. She has some mental trauma from that. We can't be so loud. He goes, right, sorry. As they need her, and he says, eat your ramen. It makes you feel better. Makes me feel better. She starts to tear up a little bit, because she's mad because of that terrifying loss. And also the mental trauma that she refused when their sister used to bully her a lot. As he says, and also, she said, and Sarah's still thinking to herself, why couldn't, And she remembers a word that the doc told her. Along with Akane having mental trauma, for some reason, even in the boy's sleep, even when the boy was unconscious, the one named Adrian, somehow, whenever we went for his sleeps, he would either slap our hands away, or his sleeve would catch on fire with blue flames and we couldn't touch it. Something's wrong with it. Sarah says, we don't really know what's wrong with him. He hates when anyone touches it, and no one knows. As now they train for a couple of days until they finally recover and discover a strategy to beat them. As it's time for them to head back. And Yukio and Misa are just sitting there, having fun. When they arrive, Yuki says, you guys are back! I see you've gotten a lot stronger. Let's see what you can do. As she blitzes off at Adrian, he catches her punch going, as he forces her back going, yeah! As they're having a sibling battle going, yeah! Troy says, he's really doing it. He's really on par with her. As Akane goes after her sister, as the rest of them go after Akane's sister, was Akane too, they go, as whenever she tries to show a picture of mental trauma, all of them create like a wall which blocks the vision from Akane, and she's thankful of this. She goes, thank God they're not doing it. Whenever she pulls out a picture, Remy also uses lightning to burn them to a crisp. So then they aren't shown. As he's still fighting his sister, he lands a blow which knocks her back. She says, oh, little brother, would you like me to expose your giant secret? He says, you wouldn't. As he pulls out his blade and gets even angrier as he restores her with a punch, she says, good job, you've done what I told you. As she grabs his arm tightly and pulls off his sleeves. And she says, it's nice to see those wounds finally opening up from 12 years ago. Isn't it, little brother? Everyone says, what the hell is on his arms? They see like weird blue spots, green and red spots, tons of purple spots, tons of scratches and scars on his arms as he goes, as she then finally ties his arms up and holds him in the sky saying, you're not gonna go anywhere. As she says, how would I go to the top of this planet and drop you? As she's still torturing and bringing back all the mental trauma that he also had. As he goes, as he doesn't want to remember it. But then she says, look into my eyes. He closes his eyes because he does not. She says, I said look! As she punches him in the gut, and then his eyes flare open when it happens. And her eyes are red for some reason. And they see that, thing. She's like, remember all your past. As he yells going, damn it. As they say, as Misa's finally blown back, and Akane says that she'll take care of him since she knows that they've already blown away all the pictures, as she can now fight at full power. She goes, He says, you guys need to help Adrian. But then they go and help him, but then they're stopped by some barrier. As she says, come on, weakling, do it. Show us your true power. Come on, it won't hurt. As he goes, as he can't, he goes, let me go. And she says, if you try and wiggle any more, then I'm gonna break both of your arms. And she says, matter of fact, as she snaps one. As he goes, As he's still stuck, she says, how about the next one, little one? As she snaps that one, and he goes, damn it. Now I'll be right back. as she's still holding on to him, as she broke both of his arms as he goes. But then... as Adrian closes both of his eyes, going... as his body starts to glow blue as he spins around, somehow breaking out of her grip and kicking her in the face and knocking her back. He goes, "Why, you..." She says, "You broke mine now." She goes, "Don't you?" But he dodges, going... as she starts punching him, but he's dodging all of them, going... Then his eyes open and they're blue, crystal blue, as he's dodging all of her attacks away. As then his arms, but then something happens to him as he goes, "Ah!" as he's going as high pace as he can as he goes. As he goes, cough cough. As fire swirls around him, and they wrap around his arms, as he's got fire hands now, like both of his hands are pure blue fire. As he goes, as his eyes are also burning with fire, as he goes, then the fire tornado also swirls around him as he goes, as he's going full power, going, as Misa says, "No way that Brett can reach that kind of level." As Rita says, "Over 500 billion? There's no way you can compete with that. His base level was already 1 million. How are we supposed to deal with it?" And it goes, "Ah!" As he punches Yuki in the gut, going, as he barrages her, going, he says, "How? I've destroyed galaxies before with my powers. How the hell are you beating me?" As he taps her head forward, as he punches her so far, as he pulls out his sword, and then he goes, "Skyrim Blade!" As his blade turns humongous in his hands as he goes, as he goes, and don't worry, this is not Cap. She has destroyed galaxies before, with just a blink of a power. Then she says, "Galaxy power swirl around me!" Because she's eating galaxies too. As she goes, "Ah!" As she barrages, as they're clashing, going, "Ah!" As he lands an elbow to the stomach, as she goes, "Ah!" As he kicks her back, going, "Ah!" As the whole ground below them is crumbling. As they're going, "Ah!" As Adrian says, "Here goes nothing." As he's trying his best, as he's going, as they're both clapping, punches which break every time, sending shockwaves throughout the universe. as they're clashing, going. And then she says, I will win! As she charges up more galaxy energy until she finally overpowers him, he goes, I'll do this! As he goes, as he finally releases his full power, going, the fire comes to his hair, then streaks up in like a power as blue and black aura swirl around him as he goes. It's like Super Saiyan Blue. It's like Ultra Instinct Aura, but it's blue and black. As he goes, oh yeah, it's the dark blue. Kind of like Vegeta's SSGB. SSG... SSE. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Evolution. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, alright? As he goes... As finally his hair swirls up with energy, as his hands... As his arms are filled with fire to the brim, his hair is filled with blue fire, like Super Saiyan kind of. Like Super Saiyan Blue kind of, but it's black and dark blue. As he goes... I kind of looks at him with a scared look going, that's Adrian? If he can do that, then so do I! As she charges up her full power, going into a demon's dark state where her hands turn into giant demon claws, and her face turns into a weird demon, as she goes, ah! As she grows demon wings. As she's the one who took down, she says, I'm the strongest in this universe! As she goes even more full power, as they're clashing the out of something. This is just hypothetical power scaring, but his power is on par with Super Saiyan Blue. Adrian's right now is on par with Super Saiyan Blue. I'm not just saying this to make him overpowered, but this is the level of power that he's at. As then, he going, ah! Then they both power up to their maximums as they go. Adrian says, ah! As they start clashing with full fists, going, ah! Not missing any punches or flicks, going, ah! Ka ka ka, oh she does it, goom 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 goom, my booty, gone 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 gone, no she no. As they're clashing kicks and punches, going, would start to crumble the planet that they're on. They're not on Earth, remember. As then the planet's crust crumbles, as they're now close to the core of the Earth, going. As then he goes, final spinner! As he goes, as he grabs her head and slams it into his fist, going, ka ka ka, do she does it, as he axe handles her down to the ground. And he says, all I have to do is launch you to the core of the earth! As he goes, as he starts miraging her there a million times, going, machine gun blows! He says, machine gun blows! As he barrages her a billion times. As he goes, he says, I'm not done! As he blasts her in the face, knocking her back, going, doom! As they go, as he spins around and kicks her in the face. Then he says, as he jumps up, going, as he goes, I am the hope of the universe! As he freaking spin kicks her in the face, going, waboom! As he jumps to the top of the damn planet and says, he does his signature move, Skyrim slash, yeah, slash. I need Ultra Instinct. This is hilariously fun. Now we're gonna use something else. So with that, he charged up his Skyrim Slash, which is fucking overpowered. As he's getting ready to end this all, as he says, "Goodbye, evil sister," as he brushes down in a blue blaze, going, "Ah!" As then it goes, "Ah!" As he's charging with full blitzing speed, going, "Spirit Sword of Hope! I am the hope and fate of the universe!" Ah! As a humongous cling sword cuts her clean in a million pieces. And then he goes, "Ah!" with his hand. He goes, "Wild!" as he swirls himself in fire. "Blaze!" And with full power, he rushes down, going, and like the Superman pose, going, "Ah!" as he charges up such a big punch, it knocks and kills her, going, "Boom!" as he breathes so heavily as he faints. With Troy catching him, saying, "Jesus Christ, how far will you go? You have literally surpassed everyone." As now it's finally over. Swordsman Academy is finally done with second season. And I'll do part 3 tomorrow. I'll